Greetings, and thank you for coming to support us by watching today's video. If you would like to support us even more, you can do so by clicking on the like button, posting a comment down below, and of course, if you would like to see more videos like this, make sure to click that subscribe button. Okay, well, there's gonna be more to come there, Shadow, so hopefully, once you get your rest, you'll be able to see the rest of the stream tonight. So, thanks very much for coming out. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. So, now that we're back in the Rising Stones, it's time to go ahead and get the main story of patch 3.5 underway. And the person we speak to about that is, of all people, Tataru. Yeah, you wouldn't expect Tataru to have the main story quest starting for patch 3.5, but she's the one who has it. So let's go ahead and speak with her. For the level 60 challenge, the first of the patch 3.5 main story quest entitled Tidings from Gear Abania. Tataru has a request for you.
Oh, Mathia, just the hero I wanted to see. Would you mind doing me a small favor? I need you to meet me at the Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise.
Yeah, she needs us to go over the Diamond Forge. For those of you not familiar with where the Diamond Forge is, it's actually here in Mordona at Revenant's Toll. So let's leave the Rising Stones. Oh, you haven't made it this far, Shadow? Well, yeah, trust me, you will. Trust me, once you get far enough, you will. So off we go to the Diamond Forge. Might want to put a bit of a spring in my step. Get ourselves there a little bit quicker. Yeah, the Diamond Forge is actually not that far from Rowena's House of Splendors. Here it is right here. And as you can see, we're not alone. A whole bunch of people are taking the main story quest right now, so let's go ahead and step in here and see why Tataru is waiting for us here, as well as everyone else.
I'm sorry to drag you away from your duties, but as I said, this won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments.
Why? Yeah, like, what's going on? And then... yeah, these are actually the people who work at the Diamond Forge. And Matthias like, what's going on?
Right, everyone. Ready to go to work?
Like, what?
No squirming now. Oh, and you might want to close your eyes.
Tataru? What's that look on your face for? Yeah, and she's even laughing too. Yeah, what the heck have you done? What the heck did you just do to me, Tataru? Can't believe I got taken down by 2 Lalafels and 2 blacksmiths and whatever.
There! All finished! The warrior of light's every measurement from heroic head to intrepid toe!
Yeah, apparently she wants to give me a new outfit. But I like my armor! It actually glows! It indicates that I'm a warrior of light! And of course her friends are enthusiastic about this, but yeah, Tataru, what's the big deal, girl?
Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time, Mathia. All in good time.
Yeah, like, this better be good. Meanwhile, Ida appears.
Aha! Found you!
Blame Tataru.
Alphanode wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Go on, we have everything we need. No sense in keeping everyone waiting.
Agreed. Yeah. I can't believe I got taken down by these 4. Can you believe that I got taken down by a quartet of civilians? Me, the Warrior of Light of all people. So anyway, over in the Rising Stones...
We're here! Did we miss anything?
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Eorzean has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphino, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Alice being herself.
Thank you, Alice. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Is that all? Oh, then the decision seems clear.
I would think so too.
No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
And it seems everyone else is in agreement.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention.
Well, you said it.
As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our
Don't shy
numbers
away.
step forward? Must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede he might struggle to balance his new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Yeah, it would certainly be hard on me.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Oh my goodness!
Meanwhile...
Help! I need some help here!
Yeah. Our issue of patch 3.5 has arrived.
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Yeah, this winded Mikote.
Narco! God, how did you... Yashola! Please, you have to help her!
Yeah, apparently Ida knows who this
Kral,
is.
a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Yeah, apparently Ida and this Mikote are well acquainted.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Well, apparently not.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. Ah, but I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Ala Mhigo resistance.
Sound familiar?
I
We've
came
run
to
into
warn
these people
Ida and
before.
Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name.
Yeah, we
Rumor
saw him in the
has it
previous
your man
patch.
is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault BAELSAR'S wall from the Ala Mhigo side.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
Yeah, there's particular places in the Black Shroud.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Ala Mhigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I shall depart for Limsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours.
Of course.
Alphino and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She will duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emeric, and encourage him to send an envoy.
Yeah, how soon we forget that Eorzea now has
Tatarin,
Ishgard within its
Krile.
ranks.
I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
And so away we go.
I suspect the ill tidings from Girabania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice. 'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied.
Yeah, Ida's like, what are you waiting for?
I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
And so now that we've had this narration from this mystery voice, because we also had a similar narration in the previous main story, it's time for us to depart for Ishgard. Which, one of the things they did not yet change is the fact that Foundation is not the name of the city of Ishgard. I don't know why they didn't change that with the update to the patch, but yeah, this place is still called Foundation in the teleporting list. Don't ask me why, I'm not the one who made this game, that was all Square Enix. And how many times have I used that line? I mean, it's not my fault I'm pointing out the obvious. So it appears that dawn has arrived here in Ishgard. Well, actually, no, it's dusk. Okay, for some reason I thought it was dawn, but no, it's dusk. Actually, yeah, it was still daytime when we were in Mordona. So yeah, I guess it makes sense that it's now evening. So we're going to speak with Lucia and see if she can't get us to an audience with Sir Emeric.
Greetings, Warrior of Light. What business brings you to Ishgard?
Well, if you need to know.
I see. Wait here. I will summon Sir Emeric.
Hello there, Sir Emeric.
It is good to see you, my friend. 'Tis but a pity it must be under such circumstances. Had Lucia not informed me of the urgency of your suit, I certainly would have sent for some wine. But to business. I thank you for bringing these developments in Ala Mhigo to our attention. Ishgard will of course send an envoy to attend the council in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make. Not mine alone, at any rate. Given the imminence of the threat, we may forego the formalities of a full assembly, but I will still need to consult with my counterpart in the House of Commons prior to proceeding. Will you permit me some time to make the necessary arrangements?
Of course there, Sir Emmerich.
I thank you. Our representative, whomever we select, will require a suitable escort. Make your preparations and inform Sir Handeloop that he is to lead in your absence. Yes, Lord Commander. Mathia, pray accompany Lucia to the Gates of Judgment and make ready to depart for Gridania. I will have our envoy join you as soon as I can. Fury speed you on your way.
And so away he goes, and we're getting 1,119 gil for completing the first main story quest. And so now that we've done that, let's speak with Lucia, because she's the next person we speak to for our second main story quest, entitled An Envoy for Ishgard. Lucia seems eager to set forth for Gridania.
If you have no other business in the city, join me at the Gates of Judgment. We must be ready to depart the instant the envoy arrives.
So we're going to be waiting at the Gates of Judgment, as she says. But we're not waiting on the Ishgard side, we're actually going to be waiting on the Caerthan side. So let's go ahead and take the Aethernet and warp ourselves to the outside of the city. Alright, and there she is. But now we have to wait for the envoy, whoever that may be. So let's bide our time and wait to find out who it is. Hello there, Sir Emmerich. You've made your choice?
We meet again. As it happens, my counterpart in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as Ishgard's envoy. Not I can see that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, it is my duty to sanction any military cooperation. Be that as it may, I cannot in good conscience make the decision alone, not with the ink scarce dry in the Republic's Book of Statutes. I trust you understand, my friend. Alas, I must test your patience still further by making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead. Given the trouble brewing in the Black Shroud, I would see that the garrison is ready to defend the border.
Alright. And so he and Lucia and Mathia go, but they're actually going to go on ahead of me. Because I actually have to warp to Camp Dragonhead. So let's go ahead and do that. And so now, once we arrive in Camp Dragonhead, a place very familiar to people who have made it this far in the game, let's turn course and make our way over to Sir Emmerich, who is speaking with a couple of other people.
The garrison commander waits within. Why not accompany Mathia? You may see a familiar face.
Like, what? We may see a familiar face? Whoever could it be? Well, if you can believe it or not, it's a Madeleine, the son of Count Edmond of Fortemps in Ishgard.
Mathia, old boy, how wonderful to see you! And Sir Emmerich, too! To what do I owe these unexpected pleasures?
And Madeleine is always accompanied by his faithful manservant Onawa, who has now picked up a bow and I guess has decided to try his luck at combat.
I will have some old wine brought up from the kitchens at once, if you will excuse. Nay, do not trouble yourself, Onawa. We shall soon be on our way. Lucia, a brief summary if you will. Yes, Lord Commander.
And so we explain our situation to Madeleine. Of course, his brother Arturel's, of course, taken over things for his family in Ishgard as the leader of the family.
Those villains hardly need an excuse to wage war. Bloodletting comes as naturally as breathing to to an Imperial. And thus we shall strengthen our patrols as you suggest. We shall also be sure to communicate these developments to Lord Francel and the Observatorium. I see you have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander.
Yeah, the little headstrong boy has grown up quite a bit, hasn't he? Surprised to see old Truly at the helm? I am. Yeah, how did this happen?
You and me both, old boy. I doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat.
And of course he's referring to the late great Lord Horschaffon, who died in episode 49 of this LP. You have a lot to live up to there, young man.
Yet we can but play the hand we're dealt, and with a little help from the veterans, and Ornwall's ceaseless charting, I'm sure I'll muddle through. So no, worry not, old boy. Off to Gridania with you.
Thank you there, Manlan. So with the vote of confidence bestowed, we'll leave these two to what they must do. So yeah, I bet you guys were surprised if you've been following the Heavensward Let's Play to have seen him, of all people, as running things around here at Camp Dragonhead. But there it is. He's the man for the job now. So yeah, imagine having to carry that kind of weight on your shoulders. Never easy, but it's something that must be done. So if we go to Gridania, we're going back home. And of course, since we're going to be meeting with the Eorzean Alliance members, the leaders, makes sense to change into Grand Company uniform for this occasion. And there's Sir Emmerich right there. Yeah, wasn't far away actually.
Diplomatic duties have brought me here on civil occasions, but I find that I'm as enraptured by the Black Shroud's beauty now as when I first laid eyes upon it. I fear that this time, however, events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest.
And so with that, we complete that quest and get another 885 gil. And we shall now proceed to take on the next main story quest, entitled An Allied Decision. Sir Emmerich is ready to attend the council.
It seems we ought to have an escort to the lower stand. A pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not?
Yeah, does seem that way, doesn't it?
Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we?
So the Serpent's Honor Guard will be taking the two of them away. I, on the other hand, will be going the quick route, by going over to the main Aetheryte and warping over to the Conjurer's Guild, where Nafika's altar is located. Okay, so away we go to meet at the Lotus Stand with the Sonic Conjurer. And he'll be the one who allows us in.
The envoy from Ishgard has arrived. Very good. This way if you go. Ah, and the Limsa party as well.
Yeah, we were followed. Limsa delegation is here. The Admiral is present, and yeah, for the first time since the first main story of Heavensward, Lady Yugiri is with us.
I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Emmerich. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Mathia, I trust you are well. 'Tis a day for reunions, it seems. I believe you are well acquainted with my escorts.
Oh, but I am. Lady Yugiri, it's been too long.
Master Mathia, I was glad to hear from Riol that the missing scions have now been found.
It's good to hear.
There is much and more I would discuss with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we?
Of course. And so let us go to the Lotus Stand for this meeting of the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance. Elder Seedseer, as always, it is a pleasure. And an honor.
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, The Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This Griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold BAELSAR'S wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
Which is bad news for us.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
So where does that put us?
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
Well, thank you, Sir Emmerich.
The Doman people, too, would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed?
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to question what we're going on for.
War. Victory favors the swift. There is much to be done.
So if business is concluded, it's time to be on our way. Ready when you are, Sir Emmerich. We're gonna stay behind for a bit to speak with the
Council knows that Ala
Leviators.
Mhigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defences seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I
Something on
agree
your
that they
mind?
have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one.
And yet,
Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
well, we'll soon find out if his suspicions have any weight. So yeah, Alphino's right over here, so let's go ahead and speak with him. That the Council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is a heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Oh good, you have yet to depart. I feared I had missed you. Sir Emmerich! Master Alphino, a pleasure as always. And Mistress Alice, how wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon the interruption. I had hoped to thank Matthias for serving as our escort before other duties called him away. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Yeah, you see where Lady Yugiri is hiding? Yeah, she's over there. Forgive me, my lord. I was but waiting an opportune moment to join the conversation, and force of habit made me keep to the shadows. No apologies are necessary, Mr. Sugiri. I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishkald's support.
My nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance's pleas is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the Elder Seedseer to accept us both. I very much appreciated the gesture. I only did my duty, Cermic. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. And full glad I'll be to have you. Pray convey my regards to the Scions, my friends. We must return to Ishgard.
Whatever is wrong with the simple soil thank you? Must these politicians always make a speech out of everything?
It's what they do.
That is how we adults speak, dear sister. Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded. We shall be on our way as well. Will you accompany us to Evan's Toll, Yugiri? Actually, I think I shall pay a brief visit first to the East Shroud. I'm curious to know how Papalimo and Ida fared in their talks of the Sylphs, not to mention what's been going on at BAELSAR'S wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones in Ulm.
Alright. And so away they go. Yeah, we do have to finish this quest by going over to Mordona and speaking with Alice. Yeah, we gotta give her our warm wishes before we depart for our next quest. And yeah, we've got 3 done pretty much already. And this is only a half hour into the main story, too. So I just need to make the jump over to Mordona. There we go. As it turns out, Yugiri is actually not that far away. And so is Alice, for that matter.
Welcome back, Mathia. I don't know about you, but I am heartily glad that all the talking is over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but do you not find it tiresome to have to weigh every word before you speak it? I doubt I will ever feel home in the realm of politics.
But that's how they do it.
That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible.
And it's so on that awkwardness that we get 857 gil, plus choice of foodstuffs. We will be taking a sampling and a serving of Wildwood scrambled eggs. And another new addition for patch 3.5, it now says down at the bottom, duration can be extended to 60 minutes for its consumption by consuming multiple servings. So yeah, that's pretty good. I'm glad that they made such a decision to extend that sort of thing even further. So now we have to take Alice's next main story quest, entitled Griffin on the Wall. Alice just seems eager to discuss the Council's decision with the other Scions. Sorry, I had to turn away there.
Well, as much as I enjoyed the bustle of the tour, I think it's time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long.
So yep, we'll go ahead and enter the Rising Stones now. And on inside and see what's being talked about. Good thing that I brought with me a bottle of water beforehand, because I need it for what we're going to be doing tonight. Hello there, Scions.
Ah, you have returned from the council. But what of Alphanode? Did some other matter require his attention?
Well, as we're about to find out.
My apologies, friends. I trust we've not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Kral, how's Nago doing? She will be alright, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. Tartaru is keeping an eye on her, so we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing well,
With sufficient rest, I'm certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Now, mayhap you would show us the Council's decision. Indeed. Each of the nations, Ishgard included, has committed to providing military support to Gridania. The Eorzean Alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. You know, I almost wish the Council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial cop between the Resistance and the Alliance. Ida, you can not seriously... One does not lightly go to war with the Garlean Empire. Quite. To open hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. If there were only some way to reach the Griffin, some means to convince him to abandon this reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There is a network of tunnels beneath BAELSAR'S wall, secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Ala Mhigo, which may serve equally as a way in. Precisely. If all are in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I am familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want, I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. As are mine. It has been far too long since I shared a shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. 4 is quite sufficient for an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Kral and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you Leveilleurs? Yeah, what of the twins? I will return to the East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matters take a turn for the worse, 'twould seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail upon you to accompany me, Mathia? Gridania will be safer for your presence, and, while it may not seem like the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask that you remain at the Rising Stones to pass on messages and so on? Sure. But Alice not happy with her assignment. To hold the fort, you mean? Very well, I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. And so, everyone departing for their tasks? Because yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do. Let's speak with Alphinaud before we depart. If you have any unfinished business in the tour, pray attend to it now. I would depart for the Hawthorn Hut without delay. The nearby watchtower offers an unobstructed view of BAELSAR'S wall, and I should be interested to speak to the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at its top. Very well. Let's warp now to the East Shroud and the Hawthorn Hut. So let's go check out the things that are going on over there. Now, obviously, given that we're going to be possibly dealing with Garleans here, if things get out of hand, we should be ready for combat. And I am got 100% on everything, which is good. Where are you off? No, there you are. There you are, my good man. Ah, Mathia, there you are. Come, Amorx's spire awaits. The Alliance officers on the platform should be able to apprise us of any developments at the wall.
Hey, there you guys are.
Fancy meeting the two of you here. We were about to set forth. Indeed, I was about to say 12 watch over you, but I doubt you have any need of divine protection, even if you are venturing into enemy territory.
Don't worry, Alphinaud. We'll have the Griffin by the scruff of the neck before you know it.
Do make up your mind, Ida. Nary a moment ago you seemed ready to shake the Griffin by the hand rather than the neck. So which is it to be? 'Twill be best to decide before we enter into negotiations. Trust me, Papa Limo, I'll shake whatever needs shaking. The talking part I leave to you. Poor Papa Limo. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let us be on our way, shall we? Ah, some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the spire? Our Alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. Of course. Ready when you are. Let's summon my Chocobo and make our way to the east. To Amarix's Spire, which, within the context of the storyline that I've shown throughout all these hundreds of videos that I've done for this game, we've only ever had to go to once. And that was for the level 25 Lancer challenge. Which I know was a long time ago, like almost 3 years now. It's been that long since we've last set foot here. And of course it wasn't with Mathia, it was with Edie. Alright, so while that fate's going on, let's speak with the Serpent Scout. Welcome, Warrior of Light. I assume you are here to speak with our commanding officers? That's why I'm here. You'll find them on the observation platform. Pray proceed. And so we will make our way up to the top. And discover that there are quite a few people representing the Eorzean Alliance that are of interest, including Pippin Turpin, the adopted son of General Ralban. Greetings, my friends. 'Tis good to see you both well. And he's not the only one. Hilda is here from Ishgard, too. I was hoping you might turn up. I've dragged half the watch here, see, and the sight of you might help remind him why we bothered. And we're also represented by Grand Company leaders as well, like Commander Rashat Riki of the Maelstrom, who we've met before in Edie's Let's Play of A Realm Reborn. If memory serves, I have not seen many of you since the day of the Grand Melee. Having borne the brunt of your blows, may I say what an honor it is to stand at your side? 'Tis halting indeed to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in common cause. Speaking of which, what news from the wall? For that we turn to the commander of the Twin Adder, Vorsai Hulwa. All has been quiet. But that's about to change. This is why we came prepared. Fire on the other side. Report! What? 7 hells! Fighting has broken out on the top of the wall! A full-scale assault! So the Griffin has made his move. Someone has. Yo, what does he mean? And what's that supposed to mean? The attackers, they're wearing Grand Company colors. They're like, what? Impossible! We gave no such order! Of course! The wall was never the Griffin's target, it was bait! We have been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus lending weight to this deception! Oh crap. If those uniforms are convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean war! Uh-oh. Even so, this may yet be no more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin supporters to slip into Ala Mhigo. He could then incite a rebellion amongst the populace which the Imperial Reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. Mathia, we must make for the wall at once. Yeah, we have to go into combat. What? Just the two of you? Our companions embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are likely halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It would be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin. And if we can do that... Are we agreed? Lady Hilda, might I ask that you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? Huh, I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. Just being polite. We must prepare for Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. So away we go. Oh, that's bad timing. Well, maybe not necessarily, because we can still do this without Mitri. I'm pretty sure she's logged out, waiting for me. But yeah, as you can see on the inside... And yeah, those are Grand Company uniforms being worn. And walking alongside them, completely, without even skipping a beat, is the Griffin himself. Yeah, for those of you who are wondering, are those people of Ala Mhigo Resistance dressed up, disguised as members of the Eorzean Alliance? You'd be right! Forward, comrades! The time has come to draw the Empire from Ala Mhigo and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Ala Mhigo will be free, no matter the cost. Yeah. When I saw this, I was thinking to myself, wow, Square Enix and their storylines have struck again. Just when you think that you figure them all out and you know what the plot twists are and that sort of thing, they surprise you with something like this. So yeah, bravo Square Enix, well played. To have the Ala Mhigo Resistance go in disguise as Eorzean soldiers, well done. And so as dawn sets on the Eorzean territory, from what Papalima told me, the trail ahead should lead us into the shallow of the wall. As we have two objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straightways for the tunnels, and attempt to intercept our comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask that you scale the wall. Note that I will not propose such a course if there were any other way, but the time for subtlety is past. Take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through to the Griffin. Make him see reason, by any means necessary. Very well. Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for your position with all due haste. And if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us all away to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. And so now, that is our destiny, right over there. BAELSAR'S wall, now accessible. But if you're familiar with the Realm Reborn, I am sure that is... You might be thinking to yourself, hold on a second, that's not the name of this place, it has a different name. And well, you'd be right. Because this place was actually known by a different name for a while. If you've made it far enough into A Realm Reborn, where you have gotten to the point where you've gotten to the last part of the main story in the first part of A Realm Reborn, you'll know that during the planning of Operation Archon, the initiative that ultimately led to the defeat of Gaius Van Baelsar and the Ultimate Weapon, you'll be familiar with the fact that this place is not referred to as BAELSAR'S Wall. It's referred to as Castrum Orient, and is referred to as such throughout. So the fact that they changed the name of this place from Castrum Orient to BAELSAR'S Wall is quite a bit of a surprise. And I'm really shocked by that. Nonetheless, we're going to go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and get ourselves ready for battle.